down. All right, hi guys. Welcome to our 30-ish minute yoga class today. Just because Zoom won't let me have it any longer than that. To start off, just take a seat on your mat. Also, if you can't hear me, please tell me because I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So just take a comfortable seat on your mat. Maybe let your hands rest on your legs. Let your eyes close and just focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Deep breath in, filling up your chest, and exhale, sigh out. On your next inhale, think of an intention for your practice today. Something that has been on your mind, maybe you want to focus on relaxation or calm. Just anything that you want to do in this practice or have in this practice, set your intention now. And focus on your breathing, just calming it, making it more even. On your next inhale, take your right arm over your head and place it gently on the left side of your head, putting some slight pressure onto the side on your left ear, just to give your neck a good stretch. Breathing in and out. Maybe you take your left arm out to the side, allowing for a deeper stretch. Just breathe here. Maybe readjust your grip to change the pressure you're holding slightly. And on your next exhale, drop your right hand back down to the mat. Take your left hand over and place it around your right ear. Once again, option to take your right arm out, extended to the side so you get a deeper stretch. Taking deep inhales and exhales. Feeling your chest rise and fall as you stretch out the neck. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, release your hand from your head. Roll over so you are sitting on your knees. Maybe tuck your toes under to get a stretch on your feet. We're just gonna roll our shoulders back, warming up our muscles for this practice today. Maybe reverse directions you're going. Maybe do one shoulder at a time. Just creating some dynamic movements in the muscles. Breathe in, reach your arms forward and clasp them together and act as if you're holding onto a pole and pulling on it. Stretching your arms forward, pushing them as hard as you can forward to feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. On your exhale, lean forward, planting your hands into the mat, untuck your toes, maybe kick out your feet a little bit. We're gonna take some cat-cows. So on your inhale, drop your chest down towards the mat, reaching your head up towards the sky. Exhale, round your spine up to the ceiling, letting your head fall. And just move with these breaths. Inhale to cat, exhale to cow. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Dropping your stomach down, letting your chest open up. And when you curve your back up towards the ceiling, pressing into your shoulders. Maybe take some circles with your hips, maybe lean from side to side. Just warming up the body in this pose. Maybe sink your hips back a little bit or lean forward for a front body stretch. And on your next inhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, and find your way into down dog. You can pedal out your knees here, bending and straightening your legs. And just slowly sinking your hips further backwards to get the best stretch that you can out of this pose. Engage your core, bringing your belly button closer to your spine. And keep breathing. Let's walk our feet up to the front of the mat to meet your hands. And just let yourself hang, maybe letting your fingertips brush along the mat in front of you, or holding your hands to opposite elbows and just letting your head fall, releasing any tension you're holding in your upper back. Maybe finding some gentle swaying movements, bending and straightening your knees. Release your hands back to the mat if you had them on your elbows. And take your hands to your shin, breathing in, lifting halfway to a neutral spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, take your arms out to the side and swing up, reaching up for the sky. Clasp your hands above your head. Inhale, and on your exhale, just find a gentle backwards lean. Opening up the chest and the front body. On your next exhale, return to stand and bring your hands to heart center. Focus here on grounding your feet into the mat. Imagine roots growing from your toes. And feel how strong your body is. Release your hands to the sides of your body, palms facing forwards. Maybe roll your shoulders up and back to allow them to fall further down your spine. Engaging your muscles in this pose, finding complete stability. This is mountain pose. You can close your eyes here once more if you're comfortable, and just feel the stability and strength in your body as you stand here. Breathing in and out. Now walk your feet closer together, squeezing your thighs together. Breathe in, swinging your arms up. Breathe out, sinking your hips back, pressing your legs together to find chair pose. Holding here for 3 breaths. Maybe try picking your toes up off the mat for a little bit of an extra challenge. On your last breath here, try and sink a little bit lower. And on your exhale, release to a forward fold. Maybe taking your feet apart once more. And letting yourself hang. Breathe in, lift halfway. Breathe out, forward fold. This time while standing, we are going to slowly roll our back up to standing, ending with our shoulders up by our ears, exhaling to release them down, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, opening up your palms towards the front, finding mountain pose once more. Breathe in and out, focusing on your breath in this practice. From here, we are going to move into tree pose. So just lean your weight over to your right side of your body, taking your foot to either your ankle, your shin, or your thigh, depending on what's comfortable for you today. You can take your hands to your hips, maybe out to the side downwards, out upwards, maybe even to prayer in front of you. Finding an unmoving spot in front of you to focus on to help you balance. If you're interested in an extra balance challenge, you can try closing your eyes. But we're focusing now on stability. Today's practice is about stability. Remember to breathe here, holding this pose as long as you can, but don't worry if you start to wobble or fall. The prettiest trees are willow trees, in my opinion, and they are as wobbly as can get. Take one more deep breath in, and on your exhale, release your left foot back to the mat, maybe circling out your right hip a little bit. Now breathe in, swinging your arms up to the sky. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, lifting halfway. Breathe out, folding down once more. Breathe in, take your arms out and up. Clasping your hands above your head. Just stretch from your fingertips to your toes. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center in prayer. We're now going to move on to tree on the other side. So lean your weight into the foot that was in the air before, and take your foot either to your ankle, shin, or thigh, making sure to avoid the knee to prepare or to prevent any instability you might have. Once again, focusing on that unmoving spot in front of you, and focusing on your breathing. Breathe in and out. Focusing on stability, squeezing your glutes to engage your body, making sure your core is engaged to help with your stability. Maybe even if your hands are in prayer, pressing them together for a little added engagement. Holding this for one more breath. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, release your foot back to the mat. Circle out your hip that was holding your weight. Maybe shake out both knees, do a little dance. And breathe in, arms up towards the sky. Breathe out, forward fold. Now plant your hands on the mat. You might bend your knees for this. And step your way back to a high plank, tucking your tailbone under, holding yourself up high. We're going to take a vinyasa flow. So slowly lower yourself down so you're hovering above the mat. Untuck your toes and push yourself up into an upwards facing dog. You just did a chaturanga to up dog. Tuck your toes once more. Push your hips up and back and sink into down dog. You can pedal out your legs again while we're here, maybe feeling a little bit of a difference in your body. Breathe in, take your right leg up into the sky, and exhale, thread it through to plant between your hands. Breathe in, keeping your back heel lifted for a high lunge. Taking your arms up into the air above you, trying to square your hips forward to the front of the mat. Maybe taking your back leg out towards the side a little bit for some extra stability. Breathe in, and on your exhale, turn your back foot to a 45-degree angle and let your heel drop towards the mat, moving into a warrior one. Breathing in and out. Feeling the strength in your body that you have while holding this pose. On your next exhale, turn your back foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat. Turn your body out to the side. And look over your right fingertips, finding a warrior two. Breathing in and out, feeling some strength in this pose. You are a warrior. Now take your left hand either to your left thigh or around the back of your body. Flip your right palm up towards the sky and reach over your head towards the back of the mat to find a reverse warrior. Letting yourself sink into this pose, feeling the side body and front body stretch. On your next exhale, leaning forward, planting your right arm on your right thigh, taking your left arm either straight up into the air or forward above your head. Making sure to maintain your breath while you're here. Inhale, return to warrior two. Send your gaze over your right fingertips. Holding this for two more breaths. And on your second breath, cartwheel your hands back down to the mat and take your right foot back to meet your left. We're going to find our vinyasa flow once more. So lower down to the mat, keeping your elbows tucked in. Untuck your toes and push up into an upward facing dog. This time, letting your hips sink lower towards the mat, keeping some strength in your shoulders and looking up to the ceiling. Feeling that stretch all the way through the front body. Tuck your toes, and on your next exhale, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Breathing in and out. Feeling a difference in your down dog even from last time. On your next inhale, take your left foot up into the sky. Exhale, plant it in the front of the mat, keeping your back foot off of the mat, your back heel off the mat. Breathe in, reaching up for a high lunge. Remember to keep breathing here, trying to square our hips towards the front of the mat, maybe bringing your back leg in a little bit closer. Hold that strength in your shoulders. And on your next exhale, take your back foot to a 45-degree angle, allowing your heel to drop to find warrior one. Focus on your breathing here. I know I'm getting a little bit out of breath. Breathe in, and on your exhale, turn your back foot out to be parallel with the back of the mat, finding warrior two on the other side. Take your gaze over your left fingertips and maybe sink a little further into the pose if it's comfortable for you. Taking your shoulders away from your ears. Take your right hand to your right thigh or around your back. Flip the left palm up towards the ceiling and reach over your head to find reverse warrior once more. See if you can catch your fingers in your gaze, your left fingers that are above your head. And exhale, take your left arm to your left thigh, reaching your right arm up straight to the sky or over your head, leaning forwards. You'll feel this in your thigh most likely. I sure know I do. Exhale, return to your warrior two. Look over your fingertips and sink a little further into the pose, maybe moving your front foot forward a little bit. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat Take your left foot back to meet your right and move through the vinyasa flow once more. Lowering down for a chaturanga, untucking your toes, pushing up to upward facing dog, engaging your glutes and your muscles in your legs to hold your body off the mat. Tuck your toes, push your hips up and back, and sink into your downward facing dog. From here, drop your knees down to the outside edges of the mat. Sink your hips backwards and let your chest fall to the mat to find a child's pose. You guys stay there, I'm just doing a time check. All right, we are good. Sinking your hips back and letting your chest fall closer to the mat. Maybe even releasing your forehead to lay on your mat in front of you. It's also a good time to grab water if you need a sip. Regulating your breathing here. Now plant your hands back on the mat in front of you. Tuck your toes under and pick up your hips and knees, sending them back into a down dog once more. Breathe in, take your right leg into the air. Maybe bend your knee and let your hip fall out to the other side of the mat, finding a stretch in the front body. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, take your right foot to the front of the mat, this time placing it on the outside of both of your hands to find a lizard pose. You can either keep your knee in the air or drop it down to the mat, untucking your toes. Take your right foot to a 45-degree angle so it's able to turn your hip out to the side. And maybe lower down onto your forearms if it's comfortable for you today. But don't push yourself, we're just trying to do what feels good for our own bodies. Sorry about the sirens, I live near the police station. Release your shoulders from your ears. I always feel mine riding up closer. Let your hips fall out to the side even further in this lizard pose. Inhale, push yourself up to your palms, and we're gonna walk our foot across the mat, letting our leg lay parallel with the front of the mat so we can sink down to find a pigeon pose. From here, you can stay upright, or if you're comfortable, move to your forearms. And if it's comfortable, you can even lay your forehead on your arms in front of you. You also do not have to keep your hips squared here. Allow yourself to roll over onto the right side and plant your bum into the mat. Focus on your breathing and the stretch that you're feeling in your hip right now. Maybe finding some gentle movements. This is a very great deep tissue massage for the hips. Just gently moving while you're in pigeon pose. Plant your hands on the mat in front of you. Tuck your back toes. And we are going to push up into a down dog. Doing some quick hip circles on the right side to stretch out your muscles, release the tension they're holding, and drop your right foot back to the mat. Holding down dog for 2 breath cycles. On your next inhale, take your left foot up into the air, bending your left knee and allowing your hip to fall out towards the right side of the mat. Hold this for 1 more breath. straighten the leg, and then we're going to take our left foot and plant it outside of our left hand on the mat, taking it outside of both of our hands. Option to drop your knee down to the mat, untuck your toes for lizard. Make sure to turn your left foot to a 45-degree angle. And if you're taking it down to your forearms, allow your hip to fall out to the side. It does not need to stay perfectly straight here. It goes out and falls. Breathing in and out here. Feeling the stretch of the lizard pose. Pushing back up to our forearms, we're going to walk our left foot across the mat. Okay. Take your left foot across the mat to find pigeon. Sorry, I got the notification. We only have 10 minutes left. Breathe in and out, releasing down to your forearms. Finding our pigeon pose here. Let your head fall, even if you're on your forearms. Let your head fall towards the mat, releasing tension you're holding in your neck. Maybe finding gentle side-to-side movements to work out the muscles in the hips. Feeling that deep tissue massage if you are moving. Inhale, return to upright. Tuck your toes of your right foot, planting your hands, and swing back into a downward facing dog. Maybe giving your left hip some circles, and then dropping your left foot down to the mat. Taking some gentle bends and straightens of the knees. And then on your next inhale, just find a comfortable seated pose. Taking your legs out in front of you. Making sure your feet are about even in front of you. Inhale, take your arms up towards the sky. And exhale, hinge at your hips, keeping your back in a neutral position, but reaching your arms forward. See how far forward you can get without bending at all, except for in your hips. And then on your exhale, you can round your spine, releasing your chest towards the knees. Maybe holding onto your thigh or your shins or your ankles or your feet if you can reach them. And if you can reach your feet, maybe just give yourself a gentle foot massage. Thanking your feet for taking you everywhere you go every day. Maybe giving your ankles some gentle circles. Inhale, return to seated. And now take your feet out to a wide angle if you can. As wide of an angle as you have space for. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, leaning forward from your hips, keeping your spine straight. Just reaching forward. Keeping your feet engaged, pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, releasing yourself down to the mat, keeping your feet engaged. Breathing in and out. You might feel a little shakiness. If you do, just walk your hands closer back towards your body. Don't push yourself. Inhale, return to upward seated. Take your feet out in front of you once more. Bring your feet and plant them just under your bum on the mat and slowly roll your spine down to meet the mat, taking your knees in towards your chest and giving yourself a little bit of a hug, maybe massaging out the lower spine. You can also take your hands to the outside of your feet, straightening them up towards the sky and pulling your hips down to a happy baby. I'm not going to do that because I'm on camera and it's a little bit of an inappropriate looking pose. But just finding some gentle movements, rolling around on your spine. Send your left foot down to the bottom of the mat. Take your right foot, squeeze it in towards your chest, and then pull your right leg over to the left side of the body, releasing your head to the mat, reaching your right arm out towards the side, finding a supine twist. Focus on your breathing here. You guys stay there. I'm just gonna check the time. We still have 5 minutes. That's all good. From here, breathe in, take your knee towards your chest once more. Give it one last squeeze, and then exhale, send your foot to the bottom of the mat, taking your left foot in towards your chest, giving that one a squeeze. And then exhale, send it out to the right side of your body, extending your left arm out to the left side, taking your eyes to the left fingers. Focusing on our breathing here, feeling this twist in the spine. On your next inhale, pull your left knee in towards your chest once more. And then exhale, send it out in front of you. And let your body relax into the mat. Maybe let your hands fall out, palms up to the side. Maybe taking your hands to your chest and your stomach above your heart and your belly button. Closing your eyes. Releasing any tension you might be holding. Letting your toes and your fingers relax. Letting your ankles and your wrists relax. Your knees, your hips, elbows, shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Let your head fall to one side if it's comfortable for you. Closing your eyes, unfurrowing your eyebrows, and removing your tongue from the roof of the mouth. Just focusing on your breathing. Negative thoughts may enter your brain, or thoughts of stressful things that you have to do. On your exhale, release any of those thoughts that you might have. Think about the intention that you set for today's practice. Acknowledge it, give it thanks, and then let it go. Focus on your breathing, feeling your chest rise and fall, and feel relaxed. Start to bring awareness into your fingers and toes. We have less than a minute now, guys. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. Start to slowly awaken your body, and when you're ready, roll over to a fetal position and then push yourself up to seated at your own pace. The light in me recognizes and appreciates the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys for coming. I'll text you when this ends. I don't know when it's gonna end. I'm just talking now. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you didn't fall asleep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's just gonna end in like 2 seconds. So, love you guys. You guys are great. I'm gonna stop the recording.